Hi there, this is just a short video that will talk about some tools that can be utilized in relation to implementing UDL principles into your teaching. So the first principle is multiple means of engagement. And rather than thinking from a tools perspective here, I like to take a step back and think about, okay, engagement is about showing relevance and importance to your learners, or them feeling that what they're doing is worthwhile. And I really think this can be supported by the learning design of the teaching session. So maybe moving to more problem-based or project-based approaches where they're tackling authentic real-world challenges, and then the weekly content and assessments really start to make sense to them. They really see the relevance in what they're doing and why they're doing it. Alternate approaches are moving to a very specific outcomes-based approach to education, where you have laser-like focus on your outcomes, your assessment, and what content is supporting that. This kind of very tight, very deliberate design can help learners understand, why they're doing what they're doing and see the relevance. Once you've shifted to maybe an outcomes-based approach to education, then you can start utilizing blended learning strategies and tools to kind of support that. But then when I do think about the tools that are out there to support any kind of engagement in relation to what we've just discussed, I think in terms of, what are the learning platforms that are available? So, Google Classroom and Moodle being representatives of learning management systems. And the icon in the middle there is Nearpod. So these are all platforms that you can upload content to. You can have multiple representations of your content in these platforms, and they aid engagement by allowing learners to access content flexibly, access each other, communicate, collaborate, and have access to you as well. Collaboration is a key concept in engagement, and the tools to support this could be Padlet, for example. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Padlet right now. This is a super flexible tool that allows learners to work together and get that shared meaning, that shared understanding together. As is Jamboard from Google. This is a very good platform for brainstorming or ideation, again, bringing learners together in one kind of easy-to-use environment. If you don't have a learning management system, social media tools can be utilized. And this one here is Discord. And in Discord, you can create your own space. You can create spaces for individual topics, if you like, or individual groups. And this is a platform that can be private to those users and allows for sharing of media, of information, and obviously collaboration can happen in the platform there. And finally, in relation to engagement, I am sharing these tools of Kahoot and Mentimeter as assessment for learning tools, because I believe that if we can integrate assessment for learning, if learners can see how they're doing, if they can get quality feedback, if you can see where they're at and where they need to go, I think this can lead to greater engagement in the learning experience. Okay, so our next principle of UDL is multiple means of representation. And this really is thinking about how can I meet that learning objective in many ways? How can I provide an option or multiple options for those learners? Now, the easiest way is to curate information, see what's already out there, and take it and utilize it. Now, there's a concept called open education resources, which is content that's being created without copyright license, and it's open for you to use and sometimes adapt. So there's lots of resources out there that you can consider. One of the downsides of OERs is sometimes the quality, and maybe the relevance is not exactly what you need. TED Talks are a great source of information and a great learning content that you can utilize. These are a great example of how narrative is used to deliver information in usually a very kind of engaging way. And A tool I quite like is Wakelet. So this is a Microsoft-owned tool now, which means you have free access to it, and it allows you to curate those resources and sequence them in a way that is meaningful to you and your learners. Flipgrid, again, Microsoft owned, so it's freely available and, pretty reliable is what I like. It has an inbuilt camera option to allow you to create your representations, your learning content. And what I like about the camera option in Flipgrid is that it allows you to record yourself, it allows you to record your screen, it allows you to do kind of some annotations, it allows you to bring other images in, and it's limited to 10 minutes recording time, which I quite like because it forces that purposeful chunking of information, so you're not delivering too much content to your learners. And of course, because it's in Flipgrid, it's the hosting and the sharing options are pretty good too. I've put PowerPoint in there as a creation tool to help you create your representations, because I think it's a super powerful tool. It's just massively underutilized. It can be used to create presentations, of course. It can be used to create infographics, posters. It can be used to create educational videos. So it's got lots of uses, but we do need to really delve into PowerPoint and start using a lot more of the functionality. The purple icon there is for Anchor, and this is a tool that allows us to create podcasts, again giving our learners access to information through auditory means. In addition, we've got Padlet again. Again, it's a great tool. You can upload lots of different types of content. You can upload screen recordings, videos, documents, clippings from Google, websites. You can a whole host of information can be uploaded and presented in Padlet. A favorite tool of mine is Loom. Loom is a screen recording tool that has a free educator account that gives unlimited access and recording. This has got some very nice accessibility features that have been integrated into it. And my kind of new kid on the block is my new favorite tool, I think, again, because of the broadening functionality that it's bringing in, is Canva. Lots of templates in there. You can do presentations, videos, again, infographics, and there's starting points that you can take a template, quickly and easily edit it, and get something created quite rapidly. And then for multiple means of action and expression, how can you've represented your content in many different ways? How can students show that they understand and have achieved the learning outcome? And I think, again, we're going back to the assessment for learning tools, so Kahoot, Mentimeter, Quizlet, they're all options for showing understanding and achievement of learning outcome. But I also think that if we're using tools to create and represent our learning content, students in turn can then use tools to create and represent their understanding in many different ways. So rather than having just an essay submission, maybe the student could create a video or a poster or a book or a podcast that shows their understanding and achievement of the desired learning outcome. Okay, so these were just a few tools to consider in the implementation of UDL in your teaching practice, but it really goes back to the learning design. You as an educator, if you can design your experience, if you can design and create your content, if you can design, authentic assessments, this is really the key approach. So experiment with the tools. I'll give you the links below. If there's any more that you have used and you find useful in the context of the UDL principles, please share them in the comments below.